Okay, welcome to the Ben and Dover show. I am Ben, and this is Dr. Dover. And we will be talking about the implications of cloning and the research. To what extent should people be researching cloning, and what are the ethic? What type of ethics should we implicate, and just how far people should go with their experimenting. So, Dr. Dover, you are very familiar in this field, wouldn't you say?
Yes, Ben, I think when in regards to cloning, I think the technology is there. I think we can do it. We just don't know much about it yet. I think if we were to pursue this at a greater intensity, with a lot more funding and much more experiments, we would be able to develop the technology and push cloning in the right direction. Not not in a bad direction, but in the way that saves millions of lives still.
But wouldn't you say that experimenting with cloning has a lot of negative effects on their patients, and what do you have to say about that?
I think for the sake of science and for progress and in the pursuit of knowledge, sacrifices are going to need to be taken, but that evens out in the end, and especially in a more positive way, by saving many more lives than have been taken for the sake of science. And although the process in the eyes of many people are more, per se, morally wrong, um, I think the pros far outweigh that.
So what you're saying is that the people hurt now will save lives in the late or in the near future.
Yes, I think.
But I mean, the people now, they care about their lives too. They don't want their lives to be messed with. What is there a safer way we could be doing this?
Well, again, sacrifices always need to be taken, but the experiments,
Mhm.
more safer experiments, would need much more money
Yes.
from the community and from the government,
Of
and
course.
yeah, the benefits that they would have in donating or helping with this research is very important.
Um I think there were a couple cases where this was being experimented in other countries, and I just had to say that um, tampering with this human life is it's going to happen, and there's really it's tough to stop what's going to happen. And now I'd like to discuss with the audience and Dr. Dover whether uh, their cloning is good or bad for human society. So, well, would you like to start things off?
I think the pros for human cloning for society are pretty great. I think this kind of technology, if it were to be pursued, the it would solve a lot of problems. Although creating some, it would solve many more, and one of them being infertility in some females. The This kind of technology would let those people produce offspring with their own DNA, and it would be able to replace through therapeutic cloning. It'd be able to replace like damaged tissues and organs, and it would save countless lives, and it would make more lives, and it would just treat many diseases and disorders so much more easily than we have been so far. Um, yeah.
Well, don't you want? I mean, with everything that's good, I mean, think about something that goes wrong in the cloning process. Like maybe you try to help someone with their leg and you infect their whole leg. I mean, you have to go into that.
There
I
have
mean, how
been
sure how sure is this method of healing people?
Well, right now we definitely have to do more research, more experiments. There has been evidence of mutations in babies that have been born recently through this cloning. Um, Although that's happened, it's taught us a lot about how to do this correctly and given us a lot of information on how we can perform this a lot better. So those slight cons of the mutations, although that can go wrong, there are more pros.
And then we have to go into the moral aspect of God gave us this life, and maybe not God, but a higher power gave us the life we're to live, and it's kind of bending the rules of what our life's supposed to be. And I don't really know whether or not that's right, but I don't know. You want to go and like maybe defend your
Well,
reasonings for?
we're not. I think what you're saying is we're playing God here.
Yeah.
But we're not.
That's
That's
exactly.
not what we're doing. He put us on this earth, to simply live and survive, and we've been advancing as a society and world, and we've been figuring things out and learning how to survive that much more efficiently and better. And this is simply the next step in science.
Plus, there's always the question of how expensive this is, because I mean, if we say we do have the technology to heal someone from their disease or make leg or whatever, we have that technology, but they cannot afford it. Is their life? I mean, it's very expensive. Is their life that? Is that
this
worth
kind
it?
of this kind of technology and cloning, it's making it so much more easier to treat things, and the money that we would receive to improve this technology would cancel out other factors of medicine that were previously used that made it harder to do those kind of things like reconstruct a leg and whatnot. It's the money that's being saved there, that's being used for cloning, is beneficial.
But it's a lot of money.
Yes, but if that's what we need to get to attain this technology and further our knowledge of how how humans work and how we can live more efficiently, it's worth it.
So when it comes to cloning and experimenting and researching that, a subject that comes up very often is stem cell research. And Dr. Dover is very familiar with these dead baby fetuses.
Yeah. Yes, I know of this process, but I'm medically not proficient in this, and I haven't studied it as much as my friend here.
We would like to introduce Ginny.
Yes, so the thing about stem cells is that, yeah, you have to get them from babies, but cloning is also being applied to that, and we're figuring out ways to get them without taking them from babies. And we've had successful tests with monkey embryos that were cloned, and we got stem cells out of those.
We've gotten more off the line of cloning and more onto the line of stem cell research, and I think Dr. Dover finds it very interesting.
Yeah. What are exactly stem cells? Tell me.
Stem cells are cells that are in their most basic form, and they are only found in human embryos, as those embryos have not developed and the cells have not been specified into a path of what they are going to be destined to do. For example, they aren't developed into heart cells or kidney cells or something. They're just the basic cells. And when you put them into something such as a kidney that has some damaged cells or something, those cells will replace them and become kidney cells. Instead of having to get kidney donors, you can just get the cells in and replace or repair the kidney.
So as the audience can see, this is very helpful in the health world and could be used in many different cases to cure diseases. Maybe if someone breaks a leg, they could just add a new leg. You know, it's very
Well, I think adding a
mean-
leg is a little
okay.
bit pushing it. but
Okay, I mean
it
that was
ha-
just a hypothesis.
It can be. It hypothetically could be used for stuff such as Alzheimer's, even as far as cancer, has been theorized as being curable with stem cells.
But it can't just. It can cure cancer, but it can't make a leg. Is that what you're saying?
yes.
Wow, what these dead baby fetuses can do.
And that is the moral dilemma: whether it is right to use these baby fetuses and take the cells from them and use them for this research or not.
Indeed. So I think that concludes our show for today. We would like me, Ben, and Dr. Dover would like to thank you, Jenny.
Yes,
you did
thank
great.
you, Dr. Talia.
And we'll see you next week on the Dr. Ben and Dr. Adover show. Thank you.